he's managed to hold on and they get
He missed the complete that. He's crazy stuff.
Freitas is on the grass on the infield before. He slides through, he tags Richard Neagle.
Looking down from the blimp high above the St. Lawrence River and Notre Dame Island, on which sits Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, this afternoon's venue for the Absolute Beginner League's Formula Neagle. In the past, Montreal has not been kind to the series' current point leader, but today is a new day. Round 5 of 8 on the Season 11 calendar, and all the simulated open-wheel skippy action from green flag to Victory Donuts can be seen live as it happens right here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Bonjour everyone and welcome to GSRC's Countdown to Green. Way up in the press box to bring you our Word's Eye view is yours truly, Bill Soupzon, joined by Adam Forever Young. Down in the production van, turning the knobs and pushing the sliders, is the hardest working man in sim racing broadcasting, our director Joe Peak. And the cameras at his disposal have been located, aimed, zoomed, and focused by GSRC's camera guru, Dougie Beard. If you brought cyberspace into your place, and over the next 15 Streamy Award-worthy minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate the 70 minutes, that's right, an extra few minutes added on today, of Skip Barber simulated racing that will immediately follow. Before we get into what's coming up, let's quickly recap round 4, the events from Phillip Island. An even 50 drivers took the grid with three-time champ Errol Num on the pole inside a points leader Tron Tran. A 7-car train formed up front early with Pierce Cockey, Jefferson Padovani, David Burns, Christian Kabanka, and Andrew Leach hooking up behind the two front row drivers. Padovani was the first train car to uncouple as a lap 9 contact, with Kabanka resulted in Padovani spinning away to eventually finish 27th. Num and Tran swapped the lead for the first 10 laps until Pierce Cockey snuck into the lead to earn a bonus point. But his time in front and in the race was short-lived, as a mistake sent him cartwheeling through the beach, ending his day. Pit stops thinned the herd even more, distancing Leach and Kabanka, who brought it home in 4th and 5th. So when the chips were on the table, it was no surprise to see the three big stacks, Tran, Num, and Burns, still betting and raising. Num saw the white flag first, but Tran made stab after stab through most of that last lap without success. It was all going to come down to the drive off the final corner, and as luck would have it, Num had to deal with a lapped car of Tony Matthew, who kind of slowed his corner exit and helped Tran steal the win at the wire. All third-degree Burns could do was hang on for third. But that was then. Adam, let's turn our attention from Phillip Island to the island of Notre Dame.
Yeah, of course, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, as you just mentioned, on the Isle of Notre Dame on the St. Lawrence River in Montreal. This layout here, we've pretty much been using it since about, really since it started hosting Formula One races. It's hosted the Great Canadian Grand Prix about 37 times. And of course, with the first Canadian Grand Prix was actually won by Gilles Villeneuve, who the track would eventually be named after. Now, it's something of a street circuit, natural road course. You got your narrow sections, you got some sections that are a little bit more wide open, and of course 13 turns scattered over the 4.5 kilometers or 2.7 miles here. There's not much in the way of runoff though, and you got a couple of areas where that concrete wall comes up in a hurry, specifically the Wall of Champions, named so because many champions have hit it. So with that, best way to understand this place, jump on board, let's take a lap.
Alright, we've got Amjad Yaman in the GSRC Skippy, so let's do a lap around Montreal. Coming down to turn 1, you're always faced with, is this a passing zone or is it not? The sharp left and then switch back hairpin to the right makes it very viable to defend from the outside. So despite the heavy braking zone, you gotta work hard to really execute a successful overtake. From there, we accelerate away around this gentle bend along the St. Lawrence and set up for 3. This is a corner that will invite you to attack it, but get over aggressive and the wall to the outside is quick to punish the greedy. From there, 5 is typically a thread the needle type of corner, but in these lower powered skippies, it's a much easier proposition. Just hold to the right to brake for 6. This is a deceptively tight corner, but the trickiest part is accelerating around 7. Once again, you're faced with a game of chicken with the barrier on the exit. Now we're taking another long stretch on the throttle and once again across a gently curving straight. Hopefully you got away well, because if your competitor is close, he could be gunning for a pass. You'll brake at just about the 2 marker, and if you haven't had enough of chicanes, it's time for another one. This time though, the curbs are pretty tall, so be wary of trying to cut them too far inside. By now we're getting close to the other side of the island, and as we come around the bend, you'll see the trees and walls are going to make the infamous casino hairpin unsighted. This is the only real straightforward place to pass on the track. Even then, it's extremely easy to overshoot the corner, so if your opponent brakes early, all they have to do is pull an over-under on you. It'll still take skill and precision on the driver's part to make it happen. By now, we've hit the backstretch, and though this used to be a sinuous set of S's, it's since become this long blast to the final chicane to create our last chance to overtake. But the most well-known facet about these 2 turns is the wall of champions waiting at the exit. If world-class drivers have had to learn to respect it, you better make sure you don't simply dismiss it as nothing. Clobber both curbs, find the grip, and hit the gas pedal. But do not flirt too close to that wall, or your day will be over in a hurry. As long as you survive that, you've finished a lap around Montreal.
Our director, Joe Peak, stepping away from the director's console to get to the mic and talk us around today's tight confines. And now, let's take a look at the points with half the season in the books. With his second win of the season, Mama Jean's Racing Juan Tran stretched his lead to 9 points and is halfway to his second championship. 3-time champ Errol Num of Bushfink Yellow is easily in striking distance and comfortably ahead of David Third Degree Burns, who is racing for DBR2 Stupid Dogs. Christian Kabanka is the season's top rookie as the Haas CCR Skippy driver sits in 4th. Bookending the overlay is the second Mama Jean Racing driver of Bastian Hausman. On to the team championships, where we see the purple and black attack of Mama Jean Racing way out in front, thanks to the efforts of Tran and Hausman. Vincent Bream is 9th in the driver standings. Pair him up with David Burns, and DBR2 Stupid Dogs is in 2nd. Ricard Allard has raced only once this season, finishing outside the points. Nevertheless, Errol Num has done enough on his own to put Bushfink Yellow in 3rd. A true solo effort is Haas CCR Skippy's Christian Kabanka as that team sits in 4th. Now, a team that has underperformed so far this season finally makes its top 5 overlay debut as AM Racing, powered by Mikhail Hofflandaisen and Andrew Leach, move up 3 spots to 5th. So Adam, we've talked about the track, we've reviewed the last race, gone over the points. Now let's look at what the nuts and bolts are for this upcoming event.
Well, of course, this kicks off the second half of the Formula Neagle series, but there are no drops in this series, so don't miss a race. As you've seen with the point standings, you got a lot on the line if you do. We are going for 70 minutes here for today, so with a little bit longer race, you might be having to think about 2 stops for fuel, and of course, there is an open step, and I have a feeling we'll talk more about that fuel here, maybe even before the pre-race show ends. There is a 24 incident cap, and there are no fast repairs in this series.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about fuel. Pit stops are important. Can anyone one-stop this thing?
Well, that's going to be the elephant in the room here. You go to your number to know, that's 18. That's the number of laps that we're figuring it. If you can get to, you might be able to one-stop. It's been done already this season. Juan Tran was able to pull it off, and Laguna Seca was able to go the entire 70 minutes on 1 stop of fuel. Now, he didn't have a lot to go on after that race. I think he might have been pretty much running on fumes.
Yeah,
and I think you're on, the throttle a little bit more than you are at Laguna Seca here. So it's gonna be a big question mark. Now you can draft, save fuel, and you also get some bonus points for leading a lap. So you're sitting in 2nd. You don't want to be pushing you're going to be wanting to get that bonus point if you can.
Well, when drivers do come in for a pit, this place has kind of an interesting pit entrance and a tricky exit.
Yeah, and of course, you got the pit entrance on the outside of the track. The pit exit, you can almost just dump somebody into the racing line right there, and you've seen you've seen incidents in multiple different series, not just the Skip Barbers here, but you've seen it in NASCAR. Of course, NASCAR has the Xfinity series that runs here. You've seen it in sports cars. There's a lot of problems that sometimes happen on the pit exit right there.
And with the series that has no dropped races, this is not the track a driver really wants to see on the schedule.
Yeah, and that's because you just simply don't know if you're going to finish here. I mean, attrition is high, it's narrow. We've already talked a little bit about the wall of champions over there that has bit many people over the years. And of course, with the 8-race season, you don't really have time for mistakes. We've documented already this season about how people had to come back from having a bad race in previous years. Where there's some question mark about some guys if they'll be able to do it this season. We always look at Tuan Tran. Tuan Tran is historically one of the better drivers around, and his best finish here granted just 2 races, but his best finish here so far is 4th. He's second on the grid right now, but we'll see.
Yeah, but that's the kind of result that Errol Num needs if he's going to try to close that 9-point gap. Okay, I'm going to read you this question that came in from one of our fans, and this is how it came into me. Adam, if you had the misfortune of losing your depth, at least you could join the crowd of two-dimensional fans. If that were to happen, what area of the track would you buy a ticket for? There you go. That's a nice question.
Well, I like that. That's a tough one. I would say it would be as close as I could get to either the Wall of Champions or as close as I can get to the pit exit over there. I believe that ends up being turn 2 or turn 3 because you get that little chicane right there. I think that would be. I think those would be my ideal spots, just because you're probably going to see quite a bit of action right there.
Okay, Adam, as followers of this series would know that your day gig is a TV weatherman, so let's show us how it's done here and tell us about the weather today.
You would. Well, I mean, what am I? Part-time IT guy, part-time weatherman, part-time race broadcaster, part-time basketball coach. We'll just lump it all together at some point. Right now, looking at partly cloudy skies, temperature 65 degrees, winds out of the west at 6 miles an hour. So track's not terribly hot today, and that's going to give these guys a little bit more grip. Of course, you're always looking for grip with these narrow tires.
Okay, qualifying going on out there right now, as there's about 3 minutes left. A lot of the drivers have put in some time. Maybe we can go ahead and look at how the top 10 are lining up right now. We have Errol Num out there, Tuan Tran, Pierce Cockey doing well. It's all the familiar names in there.
And that's to be expected here on a track like this. But as we've brought up several times, attrition's going to play a role here today. Don't mistake the leaderboard for how these guys are going to finish. They're going to have a tough track that they're going to have to handle, and a track that invites contact.
Now, I always look at iRatings to see how we're doing here, and I have a software that sorts these. We have a new driver. His name is Henry Bennett, has a nice, strong iRacing of about 4,600. That would be the 3rd highest out there right now. Where is Henry sitting right now in qualifying? Oh my goodness, he's down about 22nd position in qualifying right now. So I guess sometimes you can't put too much faith in that iRating.
Let's stick with him here for just a second, see what his time is as he comes across the line, because his best time in practice was actually about a second faster than that. Now, that might have had some draft help there, but...
This is always this series is called the Absolute Beginner Series, and as we look at Henry Bennett going around, don't be fooled by that, folks. What it is that it's inviting to a lot of new drivers, but that doesn't mean that they're only beginners here. Tran and Num are, when it comes to the Skippy, these guys are about as good as it gets. As we watch
Absolutely. There's a few guys that I think might be newer here today. Let's see, I don't recognize Austin Espetti. Is currently sitting in 18th on the grid right now. I think he might be a newcomer. And there was another guy in here too that I did not recognize. Gotta find him. Arnaldo Petkov, I don't recognize, in 33rd position. So maybe a couple new names here today.
There you go. That sounds like might be a European driver of some type. Let's go ahead and check where he is from. No, let me correct myself. That's Brazil. So we have the Brazilian Armada, I like to call it, have been coming in of late into this series, and it's basically the time slot. Adam, is here in California where I sit. It's a Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon in the U.S., Sunday evening in Europe. So really, you get drivers from all around the globe.
Yeah, and that's one of the great things about this series that you see is it really is just about everybody tries to come out for it, and terrific drivers. And also in a series of terrific drivers that a lot of them get along, so I mean, they race well, they respect each other, and that can sometimes make the difference there. So I believe qualifying is wrapping up here.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring it up, see if we can get our bonus in and get through all 50 of these. Let's do them 10 at a time so we can hustle through, see if with GSRC bonus comes in. On the pole, it's Errol Num inside of Tuan Tran, Pierce Cockey, and David Burns third and fourth. Row 3, Bastian Hausman, Jefferson Padovani in front of Michael Hoflandaisen and Jal Vivaldi. Christian Kabenka, the rookie, in ninth inside of Diego Garcia. Adam?
Yeah, great start there for Jal Vivaldi. Starting in 11th, we'll have Andrew Leach, followed by, alongside him will be Vincent Brem, Liam Quinn, and Henrik Kamara in 13th and 14th. Row 7, Floris Bashar, Williams Martins de Silva in row 8, Joachim Lundgren in row 9. Alongside him, we were Rodrigo Capilotto Ferrari, and Austin Espetti starting in row 10.
Hidden Black Gen, Wilson Santos in the double duck spot, Kevin Mills. Next row is Craig Hobson and Henry Bennett. Ludwig Sauer and Nico Roman make up the next row. In 27th, it's Andy Moore, Hugo Hernandez Gutierrez in 28th. 29th and 30th, Roger Pritkin and Zach Renke.
And 31st position will be Frederick Neptune. Alongside him, Guillermo Barros. Arnaldo Petkov in 33rd. And alongside him will be Andy Bonar. Row 18 belonging to Christopher Hancock and Paulo Preto. Row 19, Thomas Kick and Jarvis Munoz. And Edgar Sancinelli and Aries Sijas going to row 20. I'll just round it out here for you. Patrick Hingston in 41st. Tony Matthews alongside him. Matt Caballo, Flavio Demorando Costa in row 22. Leo Miranda and Adam Bradshaw in row 23. In the back will be Max Gay and Reno Tanny. And I don't believe Adam Bradshaw, Max Gay, and Reno Tanny right now are in the server.
Honey, put on your high heel sneakers because GSRC is paying Adam and Soup the bonus for getting all the way through the grid. I'm taking you out to Arby's tonight. Let's go ahead now as they are all lined up. It's a nice field as we had 45 drivers put in qualifying times, 48 names on the entry list. But all of our attention is up front on the pole sitter, Errol Nummies. It's 9 points behind Tuan Tran in the championship race, and right now he wants to be out in front. He'd like to go wire to wire. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows because the horses are out of the barn, and it is the Rolling Estonian, Errol Num, leading the stampedes of cards into that first left-hander. The little left-right 1-2 combinations of contact in the back. Tran, Cockey, Burns, and Hausman round out your top 5.
It seems like despite that little bit of contact, most everybody seems like they've got through the first couple of corners there. As I say that, Patrick Kingston almost goes around, but it looks like everybody else toward the back. I think just about everybody made it through.
Looks like Jarvis Munhoz was one of the drivers that had to go off into the sand. Meanwhile, up front, it is pretty tame. We talked about the front 5. Let's run down your next 5 for you. As it is 6th position, Jefferson Padovani, Mikael Hoflandaisen, Jal Valverde, a driver who is new to the series, having a great run so far in season 11. Christian Kabenka, another rookie in 9th, and rounding out your top 10, Diogo Garcia. Work their way now through 8 and 9, which is that chicane, as they get back onto the throttle, heading down into the hairpin for the very first time.
Just, I think almost the entirety of your top 10, maybe even top 15 are all running single file. This is at the point of the race. Whoa, somebody's around. It looks like an orange car there. Might have been Bastian Hausman we're hearing. Let me try and go back and find it. It is Hausman. Hausman was around there in that very sharp right-hander there.
Racing from 5th at the time. The purple and black Mama Jean car got loose, and he looks like he's going to settle into about 17th position as he drops 12 spots in the racing order. They're coming at you. Look at that battle there for 17th. You see Hausman just in front of them is a nice battle. That's Andrew Leach, it looks like, in a battle there. And, looks like Jal Valverde has come into the pits. He was racing inside the top 10 as well. Not sure what happened to him. I'll go back and take a look. If you pick up a little contact somewhere, usually these skippies are pretty strong. Boy, I just don't see what happened, but he's come on in. We're thinking maybe, now this is interesting, maybe got a cut course penalty, wasn't able to serve it, and now he has to serve the penalty in the pits. Thank you, that's from our director, though. That's speculation, but that makes sense. Let's go back up front and see how things are shaking up right now. Errol Num still out in front, Tran. We go back to 5th position. This is Padovani. as he is being, in fact, he's gotten around Hofflandaisen. Hofflandaisen fighting back now. Hofflandaisen is going to be on the inside as they come up into the 8-9 chicane.
Shikabaka's going to try this in the grass.
Yes! They race in diamond formation right now. It's the car in the back. That's Diego Garcia. They work the guy who gets caught out on the top side. Who was that one in
Jefferson
the grass?
Padovani. Oh, and he almost comes to tires trying to get back onto the track. Very, very lucky to miss that, but definitely ended up the odd man out in that little 3-wide scenario right there. I think he actually might have ditched it into the grass on purpose, kind of thinking the writing on the wall was just to save the car. The action almost happens alongside him.
Oh,
chaos back there. Joachim Lundgren was back there, and I think Austin Espetti and Ricardo Margarita
and there's
here.
A car in the wall. He was racing in a crowd, and Lundgren goes off. Car number 64 into the grass. We're going to get a shot of this one. Now watch it. He comes around. Look, you won't be able to see. Oh, he gets a little bump there. He's kind of stuck. He's the sandwich. He's the peanut butter. And he gets tapped again, and then the car gets switched, and then he's in the wall.
Buried that thing in the arm cow.
Yeah. They were trying to put these skippies are little, but you can only squeeze so many of them into a confined space like that. So, let's go up front and see what's going on up there. It is Num, Tran, Cocky, and Burns. All familiar names, Adam. It's funny. We get all the newcomers, but look, these 4 guys racing up here just minding their own business. They know what's in store.
Bastian Hausman's around again.
He got tapped by the, looks like the and
his car is not driving
Silva.
straights time.
Looks like the Silva got into him. He was racing right behind Bashar. And that's the Silva from behind. Gives him a little turn, and I think that purple and black machine might be done now.
And now Flavio De Miranda Costas is around also now. In fact, he was around in a pack there in the back of the field.
Yeah, he got into it with Max Gay. Maxwell had a little bit of an issue there.
Oh, there's you see the Bastian Hausman contact now on your screen. Man, that had to have just been just right of contact to break something in the suspension there, and I think it's going to pretty close to end his day. He didn't have any luck last time out either, so just tough season for Bastian Hausman.
And now as we look now, we see that we're looking at Maxwell Gay there as he's racing in 33rd position. Then we go just up ahead. Look at this battle going on for 31st right now. This is a nice 4-car battle with Matt Cabreo involved.
You're already seeing the effects of attrition on this race. Lots of cars dropping out, lots of cars making contact and hitting the wall. He's here to report somebody else now off-road.
We had a car off behind him. Yeah, this is often the case here as a lot of the inexperienced drivers race back a little farther back in the back. They're learning. You're not going to see quite the mischief going on up front as we look at Jarvis Munhoz right now. He's already had a problem. I think this is his second one. Now, up in front, it's turned into, last time I checked, it was a 3-car battle with Burns trying to hang on. He's losing touch with him a little bit, Adam.
Yeah, but now in his place, you got Pierce Cocky right on the back of Tuan Tran. So David Burns now falling back to 4th, and he is just trying to, but he's losing time here by the straightaway. But eventually probably actually fall back into the pack behind there. So it's a 3-car breakaway up front with Euro Num, Tuan Tran, and also Pierce Cocky back there as well.
Let's go to 14th real quick. It's really heating up here. This is William Martin da Silva. He's kind of in the middle, working on the inside. This is Austin Espetit. As they come in, can they make it work? No, da Silva's going to get bumped off. He's going to lose that spot, not only to Espetit, he's also going to lose it to Henrik Kamara as well, as Kamara goes into 15th. Da Silva now in 16th. He's going to lose all of his momentum. Here comes Wilson Santos on the outside as they head down into the hairpin, and I think Santos is probably going to have the momentum to get that spot as well. So da Silva really struggling. They continue. Now we're going to go look at 7th position. Look at this. This is Garcia working on the outside. That's Cabanca's going to give up that spot. As they come down into the wall of champions there, and we have no champions before they get so close. Watching the whole thing back there in 8th is Andrew Leach. Look at Leach now trying to make a run, trying to figure out if there's somewhere he can go, coming down into 1. 1 is a left-hander, so Leach was trying to get actually on the inside of Kabanka, but couldn't do it. Watching the whole thing back there, Vincent Brame and Liam Quinn in 9th and 10th. My goodness, as things are really heating up here. So, it's a nice 5-car train as we look at that right now. We talked about that's Garcia in 6th, Kabanka, Leach, Brame, and Quinn. And you can even throw in there, well, Quinn probably backs a little farther back to Flora Bashar. Let's look, oh, that's a great shot of Bubbles. We ride on this copper cam. I love this one. Look at the chopper cam as you can see the drivers trying to peek in as they work around the shoreline. And they have to stay in line. That's Garcia out in front. Now, Kabanka has a bad run. That may open the door for Leach. Leach trying to find a way around. Look at the drivers now as they work their way over to the left-hand side of the track. That's the best angle into the hairpin. And they're going to have to stay in that order. Careful, boys. Don't punt each other. Everybody say, oom papa, as the accordion opens and closes. And now they're back on the gas again in the same order they went into the hairpin at. Quinn, the last car in the train, running in 10th.
You got a pretty good battle there going on behind those guys. Williams, Martin De Silva, and Hendrik Kamara. Hendrik is actually dropping several spots here just this last lap alone. But Austin Espetti is been up there. You got to remember he started 20th on the grid here for today, already up to about 15th.
And I think we might have caught on camera there. You saw Kabanka make the move on Garcia. Now he drops back down to 7th. So that's a great battle. You know, we talked about the front 4. We talked the guys racing from 6th to 10th. We haven't talked much about the guy racing all by himself in 5th position. Let's look at him real quick. This is Mikael Hofland all by himself. He's got about 2 seconds behind him to Kabanka and about 4 seconds up to David Burns. He is all by himself right now. For all you Norwegians out there, I'll give you a little Thor Heyerdahl reference. I like to think of him just floating in the ocean from one continent to the other.
I don't know whether I should touch that or not.
Thor Heyerdahl, and he might not be Norwegian. I might have missed that one as well. Let's go back to 15th position. This is a nice battle going on. This is De Silva, Espetti, and Kamara continue to battle it out. And one of the ways I do, I look for mistakes is I listen for bumping and banging. Man, I hear a lot of noise going on out here. Maybe we should talk about some of the drivers. You know, we started with 48 drivers. Looks like 46 actually took the grid. About 10 of them are out of the race right now. I'll just run down these names. Bastian Hausman, Andy Monar, Leo Miranda, Patrick Hessen, Flavio Costa. Lundgren is gone. Gutierrez, Sauer, Hancock.
And I think in addition to those 10 guys, you could probably add another 10 to 12 that have some sort of very visible damage.
Yeah, big names that qualified up top. How about João Valverde? We saw him come in. He qualified 8th. He's racing back in 36 right now. Jefferson Padovani qualified 6th and 37th. And, of course, Bastian Hausman, we saw him qualified 5th. He's out of the race. No drop races. That's going to drop those guys in the points, not only for their chances in the driver championship, but in the team championships as well. We ride on board with the rookie Christian Kabanka, looking ahead of another rookie, Diogo Garcia. That's been one of the best battles on the track. Battle for 6th. Love this right over the left shoulder of the driver. As they work their way, that looks like through 6 and 7. Now they're back on the gas, heading down. Look at that. Look at that 5-car train. They are nose to tail.
They've pretty much been like that since the start of the race. And, we're now about getting close to about 13 minutes into this thing already. And, they've going hard out there. And, before too long, when you have the likes of David Burns fall back into that pack here in a few minutes, and also Mikael Halfadays, and that pack's just going to keep getting larger.
We talked about Padovani, don't need to go there, but he just put it in the wall. His day now is officially done. He was not having a real great day anyway. Let's go to the lead right now because things are kind of interesting. Boy, it's hard to leave this battle. My gosh, but we got to show you the leaders a little bit. Now that's the purple and black car. That's Tran, and there comes Cocky for a move on the inside. And what I think these guys are worried about, they're losing touch with the rolling Estonian, who is really rolling right now, up by 1.3. But let's move Cocky up into second spot now, ahead of Tran.
Now, I'm wondering here a little bit, did Tuan Tran just let him have second? He figures that, okay, I've lost touch with Euro Num, let me get behind Pierce here and maybe draft off him a little bit and try to save some fuel, because he's been pretty much running with clean air here for the last little bit.
Either saving fuel, or maybe they're working on the choreography to kind of leapfrog each other up and down to see if they can run down the Estonian driver who is out in front. Euro Num has 1 win so far, 9 points behind Tran right now. And look at Tran as we ride on board with him, peeking in and out. We are on lap number 8. I don't know if they can go 10 more laps. We talked about it. They were able to one-stop the 70-minute race. A few of them were at Laguna Seca, but Adam, I think you touched on it. I think this track is a little more fuel demanding than Laguna Seca. I think they're on the throttle a little more here than they are there.
Yeah, I think so too. And these little engines in these cars, it takes a little bit of gas to get them up and going. So the more you're on the gas, I mean, the old adage there. It's they've got to fight hard for it. Who's that's off?
That looks like it was our newcomer there, Arnaldo Petkov.
Oh, okay. Well, that's too bad. He was having himself at least a halfway decent clean race here so far.
Look at it one more time. Show a little all by himself. Does a good job.
I've seen a couple of guys break loose with their rear tires right through that section of the course right there, and looks like it's going to bite another one here.
Okay, well, we've documented the cars up front in the top 10. Let's look at the driver in 11th. Haven't talked much about him. Floris Bashar. He's in a nice little battle. This is Ricardo Margarita right behind him. And then watching the whole thing, Rodrigo Ferreira back there. But look at the pass. Here comes Margarita right now trying to salt the rim, and I think he's going to get it done as he's going to go around Bashar right now. So move Margarita up into 11th. Bashar back into 12th. Salt the rim, that's an old racing term for making the pass. If you haven't heard that one before.
I thought I've heard of a lot of terms, Sue, but I'm beginning to know that if there's ever an old term that I don't know the meaning of, go talk to you.
Not buying that one, okay. So Margarita up to 11th, Bashar back to 12th, and Rodrigo Capiletto Fiera back there in 13th position. So we continue to look at that one. Racing Sergeant will settle down. Let's go to 17th real quick. This is a nice one. This is Henrik Camara being challenged by, this is the guy we talked about earlier with that nice I rating. Henry Bennett back there in 18th position, a battle for 17th. Camara out in front. Kind of the blue colored, maybe lavender colored car, I'm going to guess at that one. Bennett back in kind of the dark burgundy machine. And Bennett is green. And here comes the pass. Is he going to look inside into the coming down? I think he's going to get this done nicely as they go beneath the underpass down. Working through the chicane. Nice job. Lose Bennett up one spot. Hearing some more crashing out there. What I think I'm getting is a lot of drivers kind of slapping it off the wall there as they pancake their tires perfectly. We look here at this
just shortening the car for aerodynamic purposes, right?
Well, Adam, you mentioned it in the pre-race show. This is kind of a hybrid between. Look at this battle going on right now. If we go to 6th position, yeah, this is great. We're on it. Yeah, this has really been the best race going on so far. Now, watch that car back in 3rd in line. That's Andrew Leach for AM Racing trying to make a move on Quebec. But Adam, you mentioned this is kind of a hybrid between a road course and a street course. It kind of feels a little bit of both.
It does. I mean, you have the narrowness of a street course in some places, and I guess in some other places you kind of have the wideness and the runoff of a normal road circuit, but overall, I mean, it's still pretty narrow, and it will bite you if you step out of line. You've already seen it several times today.
Oh my goodness, it's getting right up on the back. That is Vincent Brame. That's the teammate of David Burns for Two Stupid Dogs. They're trying to get in a good scoring race, good scoring night, racing in 9th position right now. About as unforgiving as track as you will find. As we ride on board with Vincent Brame. That's a former champion. He won in the Skippy way back, I believe, season 5, when they first went to the Skippy.
Going back up front, Tuan Tran just retook, I think, 2nd position here from Pierce Cockey.
Yep.
Okay, never mind. He did it just a little while back. So put Tuan Tran back in the number 2 spot, and looks like Pierce is going to go ahead and try to come back on him here.
And now we're going to look at Bennett down here in 17th position. Oh, he is side by side right now as he's fending off Camara. Remember, we saw Bennett make that move.
Something just happened in that little pack right there that we've been watching here from about 6 on back.
Look at this. And do we have our first stop yet? Diogo Garcia said, I've had enough of that, as he's pulled off.
Oh, okay. Well, he ended up being really slow there the last time through the hairpin, and Christian Kabenka, I think, got into the back of him and just kind of started a little bit of a log jam back there just a moment ago, and that might have been the trigger to go ahead and say, oh, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and come in.
Watch it again. This has been the best action on the track.
Hold on. I'm looking a little closer at his car. After this contact, as he starts going down the back straightaway and then eventually pit road, I think something happened with the suspension. His car was not tracking straight after that.
You see, boy, he is. Look at the pinata full of bees there as they come right at you. Now, pit entrance is going to be off on your viewer right here. It's going to be driver left, and there you see him go off. We'll keep an eye on him. He's probably, he came in here. We're lap 11. Oh, you know what?
He's still in pit road. I think and I don't really see many pieces moving on his car.
It's too bad. Well, let's check in on our leader here real quick. Looking, you see in the back, that's perfect. Stay on that. That's great. There's Aeronum right on the bottom of your screen, and then you can see Tran making the move on, actually, I guess that's Burns making the move, or Cockey making the move on Tran. That interval continues to increase, though, with Num's gap now about just over 4 seconds. But if you've been a fan of this series so far, at least this season, you would think 4 seconds is enough for Num to come in and have a safe pit stop, get out in front, but that's not been the case, as his pit crew is notoriously slow. Oh, I'm hearing big contact somewhere. Let's see if we can find it. I'm looking at maybe Wilson Santos. I haven't seen it yet. Is that? Oh, he blew an engine. Santos right in front of De Silva. Santos blows an engine right at the wall of champions. He was racing really well. He was racing 15th, I believe, at the time. His day is over.
Oh, yeah. He was actually pulled out to make the pass on Williams Martin De Silva, and then the engine blew, and then Williams Martin had to go ahead and make evasive action to get back around him. So that was a very unfortunate place to lose an engine right there, but that's probably one of the highest places on the track as far as RPMs.
We don't need to go there. I'll just clue you in. Burns is still racing by himself. Once he lost touch with Cockey and Tran, he's racing back and forth all by himself. Again, Hoffland-Davidson maybe thinking about reeling him in. It's about 2 seconds. And then these guys are about 6 seconds ahead of this great battle that we've been watching the whole time. They were looking at Cockey and Burns. Now, Cockey's, if you're new to the series, again, Cockey's nickname is Short Bill. Notoriously, we talked about Num being slow. Cockey is really, really fast when it comes to a pit stop, but mainly because he has a tendency not to put in enough fuel. As we look now at a battle for 11th, that's Margarita. And he is looking. Look at this. Is Bashar on top. Floris Bashar, one of the few drivers who's actually led a lap in the season. Only about a handful of them. Floris was able to run long and pick up that lead lap bonus. Right now, he's being passed by Margarita. Drop Bashar back into 11th. Vincent Brame and Liam Quinn have come in. And they are both coming in nose to tail now. They're on the road right now. I'm not sure if they're pulling into their stop right now. And they come in. These guys were running, having a nice race together. Of course, Liam Quinn, nicknamed Mr. Excitement. Vincent Brame, we saw him running in 9th position. Go ahead, Adam.
I'm looking at Williams Martin da Silva here also, again, coming down pit road. And his car doesn't look like it's tracking straight now.
You can see Da Silva pulling in. Meanwhile, let's jump ahead to Brame right now. This is kind of interesting as they have a very slow drag race out of pit lane. And it looks like Liam Quinn is going to get the best of this. Vincent Brame's going to tuck back in behind. And that shows you there, as you looked at that, that shows you how it's kind of weird that this pit road dumps you right off into like corner exit of corner 2. You have to be real careful. Those guys now racing back in 16th position behind Craig Hobson and Guillermo Barros. So let's go ahead and look at Hobson and Barros in 14th and 15th. Haven't given them much love right now. There's Guillermo, little Willie. And you can see the two drivers in the back. They're faster naturally, and that is Quinn and Brame. Let's go check in on our rookie here, Christian Tabanka, and a nice move as he's going to get around Andrew Leach. So the Haas CCR Skippy driver gets around the AM Racing driver of Andrew Leach. Move Tabanka up into 6th. Still almost 7 seconds behind Mikael Hoflandaisen.
This is kind of how I expected this race to go, with it kind of starting to split up a little bit. And I know we're in the middle of the pit cycle here, but with the way that this track drives and everything, it really separates people out. And you're starting to see that here with these little cars. And I guess, just, and I think it's going to be the rest of this race. We'll see these little packs as opposed to these bigger ones.
And there go the drivers who've made their stops. That's Quinn and Brame getting by one of those drivers. They get by Barrels. Now they're working on see if they can get by Hobson. Something I've been watching, and we don't need to go there. I'm just going to talk about this verbally here.
Oh, we need to go up to Christian Tabanka. Wow, they just had a lot of trouble getting around Patrick Hingston, the slow car, just coming back out on track after some early damage. Yeah, that was almost a big incident back there, just going back a corner or two, right on his rear bumper. I honestly thought Christian Tabanka might have had to, was almost going to have to turn him to get around him.
Yeah, this is good to watch here. Watch this as he decides to go right, then he decides to go left. This is kind of like when you get to somebody in the hallway, you don't know which way to go. He goes here, and then he goes here, but the driver in front was trying to get out of the way. Adam, that's a classic case when you got somebody coming up behind you. Sometimes you're best off not to help them. Just keep a straight line.
Hold your line. Just hold your line. Just drive the car. They're fast. They'll get around you.
Let's go to Hugo Hernandez Gutierrez, number 72 in 38th place. He just had a big hit. And this one was all by himself. Nobody was collected. There were drivers coming up. You know what? I guess the big hit was after he slammed it. Yeah, he slammed it. Then one of the drivers to get around, that was the Hobson battle that we've been looking at. But Gutierrez has it still out there. He's limping it around. Really, that car needs to be brought in now. You can see the issues that guys were having. And that's one of the things you talk about. Errol Num out there having a nice Sunday night drive for him in his part of the world. But you never know what's going to happen in front of you. In fact, he's going to be coming up on some traffic here pretty soon, as our leader's going to be coming up on Flavio de Miranda Costa, running in 39th. I believe Costa, the last car on the lead lap. No, let me correct myself. Costa well down the running order. Only 26 cars on the lead lap. Maxwell Gay, that driver. top 11 cars yet to pit. Henry Bennett being that driver in 11th. The leaders of all the cars who have pitted, Mr. Excitement, Liam Quinn and Vincent Brame right behind him. We saw them negotiating some traffic. We can report that Quinn and Brame were able to get around. Well, Guillermo Barros is gone. Not sure where Hobson is.
Euro Num on pit road. Euro Num, your leader on pit road.
All right, here he comes. Well, let me give you some times here of guys who are pretty competitive when it comes to quitting. Liam Quinn was in his box for 17.3 seconds. Brame for 18.3. Let's hope that, just for fairness, that poor Errol Num can get some type of pit stop that's relatively normal. Looks like Mikael Hoffman-Davidson has come in from 5th position as well. Num is in his pit box right now. I'm watching the timer. It's hit 10 seconds. It's hit 13 seconds. It's hit 16.7 seconds. Very good time for Num. Gotta be happy with that one. I guess he made sure that they put the pit crew on, made sure they hit their curfew last time. But look at this. Num comes out right, this is right next to Rodrigo Fiera now. He's got some issues to work on. This is a battle for 6, but of course Fiera has not pitted yet. And boy, it's really close. And now Num is going to be checked up. Look at the momentum now. Here comes Flores Bashar. He wants to battle with some guy with a big name. Num still stuck back here. Oh, he's getting crushed on this outlap. This is where, Adam, this is where Tran and Cocky are just loving this right now.
Yeah, if I'm those guys, I go ahead and stay out this next lap and let this kind of shake itself out a little bit. But, man, that... this hero gets real loose in front of me. He's in the grass.
Oh, my goodness. Num took that in hotter than a curling iron on Venus. And he's going to lose 2 spots. Did he get a slowdown penalty?
Flores Bashar ends up getting around. The real loser on that ended up being Rodrigo Capello Ferrari, because he ended up having to really check up, and he's the one that lost the spots there.
Num gets the spot back now on Bashar, and Bashar tries to do a little dipsy-do, a little up and under. Num finally clear. Okay, Cocky and Tran are in. Woo-hoo-hoo! And Errol Num now coming down.
Oh, and there was a little bit of contact. I don't know if it's going to matter any, but Pierce Cocky and Twan Tran actually touched there on pit entrance.
All right, now Num has passed the wall of champions. I believe he's going to, I feel like he's going to get these guys. Here he comes. Tran still yet to roll. Num is long gone, but of course it's a little weird here because the racetrack weaves you around. But yeah, he's killed him. Num is well out in front. Cocky out in second, Tran in third. Let's watch Tran as he's come out right next to Pat. Oh, he's touched! That was Patrick Higginston got him.
Oh, hang on. Oh, now we got to see if he ends up having any suspension damage there.
That's why you want to watch the pre-race show. Adam talked about the pit exit that puts you right in the racing line. Watch Tran. And
Twan, while we were watching this, just slapped the wall. I think on the exit of the exit there of 7, and he is taking a tow. His day might be done.
There it is. Boy, Tran was over as far as you could go. Hingston just was in there, couldn't keep the car off the line. And then Tran answers your question, Adam, was the car healthy? And the answer was no.
Yeah, you see him right here and ends up just not wanting to turn left.
Again, more topics on the Countdown to Green show that we brought you. The attrition and the no drop. Tran will have to score this race. This is great news for the Rolling Estonia now. If he can just bring it home, he'll have a good points, swap in the point standings, I would think. It's one of the things I love about the absolute beginning of the Formula Neagle. 8 races, that's all there are.
Now, while we are focusing on that, Liam Quinn now has pretty significant front end damage. Trying to figure out what happened to him here. And I think it might have just been here in this last lap. Oh, he came up on Vincent Brem. Going into turn 1 on lap 17.
As we look at that, and I just want to point out while we're watching this replay, see if our director has found it. Adam,
And then right after that, they end up getting into a load of traffic on pit exit with Andrew Leach back there and Christian Kabenka and Liam Quinn just losing time with that front end damage.
And
So we'll see the contact here, and then stick with him. He's trying to recover from the contact, and here comes that pit exit biting again. He ends up having to deal with traffic on top of that. But everybody seems like they were able to get through it after that contact was made.
Now remember, the number to know we said was 18. Num came in on lap 16. Pierce Cockey came in on 17. I think there's a splash and go in everybody's future here. I'm almost surprised that we didn't see somebody try to, since you know that you had 3 stops. I'm almost surprised that you didn't see somebody try to break it up into three equal segments, but they're not going to take tires, so I guess that doesn't make sense. You want the car as light as possible, I guess. If you're right on board with Kabanka right now, looking to see if he can get around Vincent Brim. Hoffland days and talking to somebody that his car is damaged.
He's just talking to Patrick, letting him know that what his damage is.
Well, that was Patrick who got into it with Fontran. So as we look there at Hoffland days and now racing in 4th, that's the lap car behind me. You can see that the car has no nose, getting a lot of air to the Tootsies. Let's go ahead and run down your top 10 now.
No, we're not going to leave you saying Tootsies here.
That's
Tootsies?
European for feet, yeah. That's Aero Num, your leader, out by 4.4 seconds. I think he is very comfortable. Pierce Shortfield Cockey back there in 2nd position. Again, nobody challenging him. Cockey's stop was 19.6 seconds, so I don't think fuel is an issue. He was in there for a long time. 3rd Degree Burns in 3rd right now. Not really anybody around him as well. Well, I guess he's got Mikael Hoffland-Dazen closing in on him. Actually, that's about the same interval it was before. Hoffland-Dazen, little by little, has been able to run in on Burns. I would not be surprised to see that turn into a battle pretty soon. You got to drop back a little bit farther till we get to Andrew Leach, and here are our friends we've been watching all race. Leach, Brame, Kabanka, and Liam Quinn in this mix now. Now, as I look at Quinn, if I go back, he pitted with, I guess it was Brem. Yeah, Brem, they came in together, so they're still out there racing. That's a great battle for fifth. And just to finish my top 10, let's drop back. Ricardo Margarita back there in 9th position, ahead of Rodrigo Ferreira. And there's your top 10.
Yeah, and coming up here in the next little bit, maybe the next half lap to a lap, this Andrew Leach-led pack from about 5th on back is going to end up catching, actually maybe this straightaway, next straightaway here, is going to end up catching Patrick Hingston, so we'll have to see if they're all able to get through it here as they're getting ready to hit the casino straight.
Just fun. This is a great battle. Look at that. We've been watching it. These guys, the pit window did not break them up. They're all right back together again. And it is 5 cars back there, and that's won't be long. Margarito will get in there as well. What I'd like to do, if we can, just for a second, get away. Let's go to the driver in 18th position. He is our hard charger, Ari Sejas, right now. He is up a bunch of spots. Qualified 40th, has moved up to 17th, racing all by himself, but just want to give him a little love for a job well done. And actually, he's closing in on Andy Moore. Moore in 17th right now, Sejas in 18th. And let me correct myself, Moore just made that pass. Sejas was ahead last time around, so Moore is on the move. Adam, these 70-minute races compared to the usual 45 minutes races gives us a little more time to get through the field, not quite as hectic.
Yeah, and especially a track like this where things have kind of spread out, and also one where attrition is just such a big player here today. It's I can't think of anybody that doesn't have at least some sort of wing damage from hitting curbs or hitting another vehicle or something here. This is just such a tough track. I mean, we figure we started the race with 40-something cars. That personally, I think it's amazing we got 10 running. I mean, that just these guys are just that good here.
Let me give a shout out to Flavio Costa, who did a good job letting the leader go by, as well as Arnaldo Petkov did a good job as well. Both those guys. Bear claws for you if you want to come join us at the next Backmarker United meeting. One of the more vocal drivers is Mikkel Hoflandays, and out there he's trying to do a little air traffic controlling right now. Gave a shout out to Max Gay, who was able to get around. Remember, Hoflandays, and little by little starting to run down Burns. I think he can start to smell the exhaust off of Burns right now. He's back by 1.4 seconds. Plenty of time to get there. Remember, there's a splash and go still in their future. A bad day for your points leader, a champion back in season number, if I remember right, season number 6, Tuan Tran. His day is done. He will finish out of the points. And a bad day for Mama Jean Racing, as both of their drivers are not in there. That's going to open the door for two stupid dogs to make a run at the team championship. David Burns racing in 3rd right now. Vincent Brame racing in 5th. 6th, let me correct myself. 3rd and 6th. What a great job for damage beyond recognition. The two stupid dogs. Maybe one of these guys can come in and tell us the origin of the two stupid dogs name. It just does not seem very... It was a cartoon in the 90s. Okay, as I'm getting information from our director. And let's go. This is a good... We got it. We could have spent, Adam, the whole 70 minutes on this battle that these guys have been putting on. This is Leach, Bream, Kabanka, and Mr. Excitement, Liam Quinn, as they run nose to tail. Is anyone going to make a move? Yep, up front, ducking to the inside. There goes Leach. That was a half pass, halfway by. Let's go to Tony Matthews. Just got into the back of Jarvis Munoz. Man, Jarvis, he has been in a lot of problems this race. These guys were racing well up. Well, still on the lead lap for Tony Matthews.
Yeah, he was battling there for a minute. Yeah, let's see what happened here.
It looks like boy, that car really slowed down in front of him. At least from that perspective.
Well, you know how you asked me, of course, as I try to bring him up, he disconnects so the car moves, but you know how you asked me about the great spot to watch the race? Bastian Hausman tried to find his own a little bit ago and just kind of parked the car in a runoff area and just sat there for a little bit watching things.
Since we have a minute, I got another fun one to look at if we could. How about 21st position? I haven't talked about these guys. Frederick Neptune. These guys are the last car on the lead lap. And Paulo Pareto behind him. This is a battle for 21st. Let me see how far our leader is. Oh, here comes our leader. Is going to be on him pretty soon. So maybe this might be a fun way to see how these guys who are in a battle, how they play in this battle and still let the leader go by. Neptune out in front, Pareto behind him. And boy, I don't think it's going to be long till our leader gets there. And through the wall of champion, Neptune now starting to really open it up. They work there. This is interesting. This track, the first corner turns away from you. You think when you're going clockwise like this, you just imagine corner number 1 to always be a right-hander. Really unusual. It turns away from the center of the track. The first corner turns out. That's a very unique feature of this race track.
You know, I just want to point out something about Frederick here. Looking at his car and comparing it to just about everybody else on the track, including your leaders, I think he has the cleanest car out there right now. I don't see a lick of damage on the thing.
And Neptune Racing, in fact, here they come. Neptune is a Bushfink, one of the Bushfink families. I'm not, well, they can tell, I guess that's green. My eyes are bad, but I think that's a Bushfink green. Is that what we're looking at there? It looks like that's green. Like, look at the little emblem. Looks like it has a green background. And now here comes Num. Now, Num is a Bushfink driver as well. He has the yellow tail on it. And now as these guys get around, now here's Jarvis Moonhose again, Mr. Excitement. This is another battle for position. Moonhose in 20th, but his car is really not healthy. And now we can see here as the pass is made, Neptune gets by, Fredo, and Aero Num taking a longer to get there than I thought he would. That could be a record for the most time the GSRC has spent on a driver racing in 20th right now. Oh, here comes an Aero for his second stop. You know, Adam, that's one way to avoid the issue. Just come in and take a stop. Yeah.
Eliminate all doubt. And well, he will for sure be able to make it from here. So maybe not a bad idea. I mean, hopefully he comes out with some clean track this time, but we'll see what happens.
Stops were about 18 seconds before. I would imagine this one to be single digits simply. They're real quick. Come on in, get what you need, and get out. He's in there. Well, he's in there for a little longer than I would have thought. 9. Oh my goodness. This is more than a splash and go. This is a guzzle and go. This is a gulp and go. That stop for Aero. Now maybe the fuel is, they need more than I would have thought, but we were talking about one stop and he was in there for 16 seconds. Almost 17 seconds. That's almost as long as his first stop.
Now I didn't see, did maybe he take some tires to replace the fuel? The time wise? I still think if he took tires it might have been a little bit longer than even that though.
Well, he is the first of any main driver to come in and take a stop. Although Rodrigo Fierro took one, but I think that was not a scheduled one. Well, yeah, Fierro was in for about the same way. So your commentator just may not have his math right. But again, it doesn't make sense to me. If they went to lap 16, I expect this lap to go 38 laps maybe. I just don't see why you would need to be in there that long, unless maybe he decided to take tires and that's what took so long. We'll find out. Stick around for the post-race interview. What that does, though, that puts Pierce Cocky out in front. Bonus point for him. And without his dancing partner of Tuan Tran, he's out in front by 9.3 seconds over Burns. Now, we talked about Burns being ran down by Hofflandaisen. Well, that has not materialized, as Hofflandaisen is now back by about 4.3 seconds. I don't know if it's pace or if Hofflandaisen had an issue. Could have been traffic, perhaps. Hofflandaisen Racing in third now. Let's take a... Well, I thought I had a crash here, but I guess not. Somebody banging off the walls. We look at Graham in fifth. That's the battle now that has gone for fourth. The bank of watching the whole thing. Quinn back there in seventh. Everybody still needs to make a stop. Let's see where Aero Num cycled out. How about 8th position? Not sure if he has been all the way around yet. I guess he has. He's sitting about 27 seconds behind, almost 28 seconds behind the leader. Can Shortfield come in, live up to his name, come in for a splash and get out within 28 seconds? Seems like a tall order. But when you got the nickname of Shortfield, you can't put anything past him when it comes to a pit stop. Go through. We're looking there at Cocky. He is your leader. He's got no traffic ahead of him. Aeronum in 9th, also with pretty clear sailing. But what's interesting about Num is he has the 8th place driver. This is
Oh, okay. That scared me for a second there. Pierce Cocky was going into that corner. He went in hot, and Yarbas Munoz, I don't know what happened, but suddenly he just went straight and ended up actually driving it into the tires right there in front of Pierce Cocky. Just right along here with Pierce Cocky. You're going to come on the outside too, and you're going to see a car fly in front of him.
Munoz. If there was ever a guy who needed to stream his race, it would be him, because he has that one adventurous event here.
Yeah.
Munoz up in front.
He really has. Well, no, Munoz is going to come across his front end right there. Okay, so it wasn't Pierce Cocky chopped right in front of. That was the car in front of him.
And there's Munoz in the wall.
Man, that tough break for Munoz. I'm not exactly sure what happened here. We'll ride along with him. You go past the wall of champions down the front straight away. That is the car of Pierce Cocky in front of him right now. As they're going into getting ready to go into 1, and just maybe he just mistimed the braking point and just decides the safer thing to do is just drive it straight. And
it's lucky the track winds as much as it does, or he could have got right into the leader. Our director, from listening to the engine, that we can't hear the engine sounds here in the broadcasting booth, but our director said, sounded like you might have got stuck in neutral. The engine sound there was not right. Okay, what I want to do is I want to look at Num real quickly. Last time I checked, he was coming. Yeah, sure enough. He is right behind Ricardo Margarita here. He's got to make quick work of this because Cocky has clear sailing in front of him. And now this is a battle for 8th. There's no flag being shown to Margarita here. And now they come down. Num should be able to make quick work of them. They dives down to the inside. Let's see if Ricardo forces the issue. Nope. So I don't think the Rolling Estonian lost too much time. He moves up into 8th. Boy, he came in. You know, Adam, we talk about Num doing what my dad called the early peel, late reveal. He's notorious for being first to come in. Now, he didn't do it on his first stop, but he was really first to do it on the second stop.
Really, I mean, and that's, and I think that's right now maybe what the likes of Pierce Cocky and David Burns need to think about is Zero Num's obviously on one strategy. I think your best bet right now to pull off something crazy would be just to do the opposite,
Yeah.
and see what happens. I mean, but Euro Num, notorious for that strategy, and here it is once again. And now, I mean, he's having to fight through a little bit of traffic. He's got a couple cars up in front of him.
Let's go to 6th. Maybe a replay on this. This is Vincent Brame. This has just happened, so we don't have to go too far back. And he's still in that battle. He had a little bit, he almost got into the back. In fact, I think he did get in the back of Leach. And why this is so important, now watch, this is Brame's second in line. That's Leach's out front. Get out of the way, trees. Here we go, and you can see, you're going to get a good view of it here. As he's going to come in, gets into the back of Leach. Leach saves it. Brame loses all that momentum. Now, why is this important? Because right behind these guys, here comes the guy who has no idea what he's getting in for. That's Aero Num. You can see there's Num right there as he's made his way around the car that was in 9th position there. That was, of course, Margarita. So if Num can get up to this, that's going to be a little tougher sledding getting through those guys. Leach, Cabanca. Oh, now here we go. That's going to help out a little bit as Brame has decided to come in. Oh, wait, and so has Cabanca. So 2 of them are gone. Let me correct myself. It's Leach and Cabanca. Let me do this again. Who in the pits? It is Brame and Quinn who are in. All right.
I knew you'd get it figured out.
Too many lights are flashing on me. I should have just looked down and let my eyes. Trust technology, that's what happens. Well, that's going to make it a little easier for Num. Now he won't have to deal with those guys. As they come in with on lap 28. 18 minutes of racing left. That interval between Cocky and Numb, which was once almost 29 seconds, is now 27.1. So he's knocked off about 1.8 seconds. I'm telling you right now, Pierce Cocky really missing his dancing partner, Antoine Tran, because Tran qualified second. Tran was actually a half second faster in qualifying than Cocky. Cocky sure could have used Twan to help carry him around the track.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you're just getting into the race here, joining us late, Twan Tran ended up having a contact with Patrick Kingston, I believe. I believe that's how you say his name, was earlier on in this race, and it didn't end so well for Twan Tran, and he is out of this one, which I think ultimately means he's going to end up giving up the points lead at this race here, at least as long as things stand right now, and if Euro Num's able to finish somewhere near the front.
Let's go ahead and report on Vincent Brame. He has come out in 8th position, just ahead of Liam Quinn. We'll see how that shakes out when their party pals come in, Kabanka and Leach. Right now, looking for our hard charger, it's still Maxwell Gay. Tony Matthews as well, up 23 spots. And Gay just went off. Little commentators, not really a commentator's curse, those little commentators stuck a pin in his ball there. Right on board with Gay. And this is the replay. Let's see what happens here. He goes beneath the underpass. I'd say maybe just a brake failure. How about that? Brake fade? Or brain fade?
We'll go with brake fade. Sounds a little bit better.
Let's look at 19th position real quick. Tony Matthews. I want to talk about him. He's having a good run. This poor guy had the misfortune of being the back marker that the leaders ran up on Phillip Island. He did absolutely nothing wrong. Kept the car on the outside. What ended up happening on that final drive off the corner, it kind of hurt Aero Num's corner exit and let Twan Tran get a good run to steal the lead. Tony, I mentioned in the pre-race show, nothing wrong with what you did, buddy. Good job of racing. What are you going to do? Sometimes that's how the cards are dealt to you. Watching here, leader of all the cars. It looks like Burns has come in as well. Yeah, Burns is in, pitting from second.
Okay, so now, how long are they going to stay?
Yeah, this will be a good indication. It was only about, I think, maybe 6-7 seconds. Let's see how long Burns is in here. In there for 9. Well, oh, this is way shorter. 9 seconds. Now, where is Numb? Numb's ahead of him. No, but not by much. Numb is out. Now, Numb has managed to get around Leach and Kabanka. So Numb is racing right now in second. Then you have the two cars of Leach and Kabanka who have yet to pit. And then Burns. But, Adam, we haven't heard from Sharpeville yet. And Cocky was well out in front of Burns. So there's a chance if Pierce can get that car in and out, live up to his nickname, make it fast, he might be able to get out in front of the Rolling Estonia.
I would, if I was Cocky, I think I might go ahead and just come in now. Take the chance of maybe trying to come out and clear track while you know Euro Numb is going to be in some traffic back there and having to fight for some position. And I think, nope, he's going to go ahead and stay out here another lap. Euro's back there fighting right now, and that might help cost him some time on track and might be his best chance to be able to do something. But I mean, it's almost a 26-second lead at this point.
It was just under 29 when we marked it the first time, so Numb able to knock off 3 seconds. Burns' time in his box, 9.3 seconds. That's compared to Numb, who was in for 16.9. Oh my God, that's 7.5 seconds longer. Hofflandaisen was in for 11 seconds. We should document that. Remember, Hofflandaisen was trying to run down Burns. Well, now he's back by about 5.7. And look at Hofflandaisen right now, really getting loose. We'll go on board with Michael here. This will be fun. You'll get a feel for it in the seat of your pants. A hard bounce off the curb. And he keeps it off the wall, the champions. Hofflandaisen Racing right now in 6th position, but Leach and Kabanka still yet to come in, as is Cocky. I expect Cocky to be able to come in and out without it being an issue. My gosh, what a great race we're having so far. Pierce Cocky out in front, comfortably, by 24 seconds over the rolling Estonian. There is nobody between him.
There he is.
And here he comes.
Coming down.
Errol Num right now has worked his way through as he's coming down the straight right now, heading towards the Wall of Champions, the final chicane.
Get that stopwatch out, right?
Working through 13 and 14. Now Errol's going to be on the gas. Cocky has hit he's in his box. 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 6 seconds, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.2. Don't think that's going to be short enough.
Nope. Yeah, Euro is gone.
Leach and Kabanka are around, but they need to make a stop yet. Cocky's going to cycle out, I believe, in 2nd position once it's all said and done. He comes out ahead of David Burns. So Leach and Kabanka, the 2 cars yet to pit. That battle is really fun. What we'll want to watch to see how Leach and Kabanka, where they cycle out and compared to the guys they've been partying with the whole race, Brame and Quinn.
Christian Kabanka coming across saying he's going to pit this time by.
You go back to 7th position real quick. No surprises, Vincent Brame and Liam Quinn nose to tail. And here we looking at the rookie racing in 3rd position. All this happening behind Errol Num, who has made his 2 stops and is out in front and just has 10 minutes of racing to go. Working through the hairpin. Kabanka looking up at Leach. Wouldn't be surprised if both these guys come in this time. I always like it when there's a pass made down here, heading down into 13 and 14. One of our hard chargers, Ari Sejas, is coming in for his final pit stop. There's Kabanka. And they're both coming in.
Yeah, I think once Kabanka got on the radio a minute ago that said he was coming in, I think Andrew pretty much piped up and said, "Me too."
Okay, let's put our attention on Brem and Quinn right now as they head down looking towards pit entrance right now. That's Brem out in front. Looks like Quinn may make a move here. Nope, I don't think so. He's just going to wait. Let these guys negotiate. 13 and 14, that chicane that'll set them back out to the start-finish line. They get that done. Kabanka is in his spot, and both those guys are rolling now. This is going to be closer. Leach is rolling. He's out in front of Kabanka. No, let me correct that. Kabanka is first, and is he going to get out in front of... Here they come. No, not even. Yeah. They're going to get out first. Raymond Quinn back behind. In fact, they are separated by Ricardo Margarita. In fact, that's a battle for position. Margarita now has got in there. Remember when we talked about it earlier, Margarita was watching the fun, wasn't quite invited to the party, watching those 4 guys fight? Well, now he's in it. So now That sets up 5th position Cabanca, 6th is Leach, Margarita, and then it's about 3.6 seconds back to Quinn and Brim. Those two are going to have to hustle. And now I believe everybody has made their stops.
So what you're saying is Ricardo crashed the party.
He did.
I like that.
But when your last name is Margarita, you're always invited to any party.
Pretty much, yeah. Right?
I sure hope he has a sister named Tequila. Let's go ahead and run down the top 16 drivers who are on the lead lap. I'll take the first 8, Adam. I'll give you the second 8. Aeronum out in front by quite a distance, 5 seconds over Pierce Cockey, racing in 2nd position. Pierce with a comfortable 6-second lead over David 3rd Degree Burns. Once again, Burns looking for another podium. Burns has been chased by Mikkel Hoffland-Dason the whole time, but Mikkel just not able to get there as he's racing now in 4th position. Again, 14 seconds ahead of, I guess, who is it now? Is it going to be Leach or Cabanca? It looks like it's Cabanca and then Leach as they race for 5th and 6th. Then Margarita in that mix as well. Get that one. And then Vincent Bream back there in, I guess in 8th position. Adam, Quinn's ahead right now.
All right, so if we're looking now, 8th position. You mentioned Quinn being ahead there. Quinn probably has probably some of the most significant damage of everybody in the top 10 right now on that nose. You see that thing twerked a little bit there as he's riding right in front of Vincent. Vincent up about 3 positions from when he started. He's just been kind of trying to have a nice quiet day for the most part, but he's found some action at times. And going back behind him, we go back to 10th position, Rodrigo Capitolo Ferrari. Up about 9 spots. So he's had himself a pretty decent day as well with a relatively clean car when comparing it to just about everybody else out there. And he's just right now at this point looks like he might come home with the top 10 if he can keep this thing clean for about another 5 minutes. Floris Bashar has been around some action today. Floris out there right now running in 11th position, just outside the top 10. He's up 4 positions from where he started today. Henrik Kamara. Henrik has been one of those guys that when Henrik gets going, he can make himself a presence in the race, but really hasn't found himself in a position to do that here for today. He's only up 2 positions from where he started. He started kind of in the middle of the pack in 14th position, and right now just trying to run comfortably and bring the thing home. Last car in the lead lap now is Henry Bennett. Henry, not a name that we talk a lot about, but definitely running that 007 car. I wonder if that 007 car has a little bit, maybe Aston Martin decided they wanted to go ahead and put a Skip Barber engine together. That'd be cool. But he's up 11 positions from where he started here for today, and just going to hopefully bring her home there as maybe the last car on the lead lap if he's able to not lose too much time to your leader. First car lap down is Greg Hobson. He's running in 14th position. In 15th position is Guillermo Barros. Guillermo is actually one of the harder chargers. So he started up 32nd position. He's up 17 spots. He might have lost a lap, but man, he really was able to put some points on the board. In 16th position is Andy Moore. Andy, another guy that's kind of come up a little bit. Not quite as much as Barros, but he's up 11 positions from the start of this race.
Let's take a second then. We'll do one more. Let's go to 22nd position. This is our hard charger, Max Gay. Wanted to give him a little love as he's racing back there. Oh, well, let's go to Max Gay then, racing in 22nd position is where we're going to go. I think we're done with our rundown now, as he is racing, is our hard charger. And I guess we'll run down. Where'd you leave off? 16? Let's go ahead and run down the rest of these guys then. I didn't realize what our plan was there. I missed the production meeting. Ari Sejas in 17th position. Having a nice race. Now, he's got about 8 seconds back to Frederick Neptune. We looked at these guys earlier. Neptune still 1 lap down. And then it's about 14 seconds back to Roger Pritkin. Pritkin qualified 29th, up 10 spots to 19th. And then we talked about Tony Matthews earlier, who had that unfortunate roll of the dice last time at Phillip Island, having a nice quiet run in 20th. So there you go. There's your top 20. Oh, let's put in Kevin Mills as well. All the Kevin Mills family out there saying, come on, let's throw Kevin. There he is in 21st position. Started 22nd, racing one spot up. So there you have it. Top 22, including your hard charger of Max Gay. Now let's go up to what we've been watching. Really, we could have had a whole show of this one, Adam. Battle for 5th. Cabanca, Margarita. Look at this. Margarita has got around Leach now.
Yeah, these guys have just been... Some of the guys just cannot get away from each other sometimes. I think these guys have... At least some sort of combination between Leach and Cabanca have been involved in stuff for the last couple of races. And here we are again as these guys are trying to go for a top 5 spot.
What we'll do is the white flag is going to be coming out next time around. We'll call Errol Numb, assuming he gets his win, and then we'll immediately go back and follow the last 30 seconds of battle here between these guys. We'll assume that Cocky, Burns, and Hofflandaise will come in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. But the real action is going to be between Cabanca, Margarita, and Leach as they battle for that top 5 spot. Right now, Cabanca in the best position. I would think that if you're going to make a pass, as we watch them right now working through, this is where I think the pass would be made last time as they worked their way through that final hairpin there, now coming down the straight. Let's see if they jockey for position right now, or if Margarita's going to be happy where they are. Let's see what type of racing line Cabanca takes. Oh, it looks like he's going to take a defensive line. He's going to force Margarita to do it on the top side. Margarita with a good run. I think he's going to finish the job before they get there. No, Cabanca able to take it in hot enough to do it. They managed to negotiate. Margarita keeps it off the wall. The pass is made. Oh, and Max Gay. Let's go back and get a director. It just happened. Paulo Preto got into him. Poor Max was having a great run. It was the hard charger.
Oof.
And just in front. We watched
Something I think happened in Aries Seas here too.
Yeah, there was almost an incident going on when these guys were Preto moving. Max came out right in front of Aries Seas. Yeah, that's what happened. That was all the no.
Oh man.
Meanwhile, we look
calamity of errors.
Yep. A hard charger back there. Meanwhile, we focus back on the Roland Estonian, who is doing just that. The white flag is out. He's coming down. He just has the right left-hander of 13 and 14 to negotiate. This is round number 5, the Absolute Beginners League. Formula Neagle from Circuit Gilles Villeneuve goes to the Roland Estonian, Errol Numb. We'll assume Cocky and Burns and Hofflandaise and get 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Let's go back to Margarita. He's out in front of Cabanca with Leach watching the whole thing. They got a ways to go. Now they come at you. Let's see what type of lane. Look at this. Margarita takes that tight inside line. This is what Cabanca did to him. Turnabout is fair play. Cabanca going to be able to close the door before they get there. They're going to touch. Boy, I think they did touch once. They take twice. Cabanca spins, going around. He collects. Leach is
who's going to lip it home? Who's going to lip it home?
Cabanca is still rolling. Those two guys are trying to get across. Margarita's got it rolling, but Bream is going to get by ahead of Quinn. Margarita's going to come across next. Leach's car is crabbing as he's going to come across in 9th. Woo-hoo-hoo. What we're going to do, we're going to save that one, and we will show you that one after we come back from break. So hang on to that. That was an exciting finish. We knew it was going to heat up. Everybody else coming across right now, Bashar, Kamara, and Henry Bennett, going to round out the 13 drivers on the lead lap. Don't go far away. We'll review that last lap incident that you just saw when we come back after break. This is the Global Sim Racing Channel. We'll be back in a few. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the Absolute Beginner League's Formula Neagle, round number 5 from Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and 70 minutes of racing, 70 minutes of excitement. Let's run down your finishing order. Errol Num picks up his second win of the season as he comes home 7 seconds ahead of Pierce Cockey. David Burns rounds out the podium. Michael Hoflandaisen is in 4th. We're going to show you the battle for 5th here after we run down these standings. It ends up with Christian Kabanka, Vincent Bream, Liam Quinn, Ricardo Margarito, and Andrew Leach as they go 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. The only driver not involved in any of the excitement is the driver in 10th, Rodrigo Capilera Ferreira. Floris Bashar is in 11th, 12th, and 13th. Henry Camara and Henry Camara and Henry Bennett in 12th and 13th. 14th, 15th, and 16th went to Little Willie Guillermo Barros, Craig Hobson, and Andy Moore. Frederick Neptune and Roger Pritkin, 17th and 18th. Rounding out your top 20, Tony Matthews and Kevin Mills. Then we get to the drivers that were 2 laps down. Eri Sejas, Edgar Santinelli, Arnaldo Petkov, Max Gay, who was having a great run, got in some trouble there at the very end. His hard charge ended. Diego Garcia in 4 laps down in the quarter-century mark. Paulo Preto, 26th position. 27th, 28th, and 29th went to Flavio Costa, Patrick Kingston, and Jefferson Padovani. Then we run through the guys that saw lots of trouble. Jarvis Monhos, Austin Epeti, Tuan Tran, of course, we documented his problems. Nico Roman, William Silva, Wilson Santos, Bastian Hausman, Zach Renke, Thomas Kick, Matt Cabreo, Jal Valverde, always a good driver, way back in 40th position. Hugo Gutierrez, Andy Bonar, Leo Miranda, Joachim Lundgren in 44th position. Rounding out the final one, Ludwig Sawyer, Christopher Hancock, and I believe the other 2 drivers did not take. So I believe Hancock's your last one is Bradshaw Canny did not enter. Now we're going to go back and look at this battle for 5th position. Let's go back. We're going to start. You're going to see that it is Kabanka out in front, Margarita in 2nd, Leach is the 3rd car in line. Now, Kabanka comes across the nose of Leach. Did Leach leave him room? Did Margarita chop him off? I don't know. They get together, they spin, they tangle. What happens is the one car comes back, Leach comes back, gets into Margarita. Now you can see the 2 cars behind. Here comes Quinn and Brame as they come across, and they get 6th and 7th. Let's take another look at it from the point of view. We're going to go above. This will give us a good view of it. Now, watch Kabanka as he comes across in slow motion. That's Leach behind. Leach hits him once. That wasn't so bad, but then they make contact again. Leach gets into the Kabanka. Now, Kabanka spins off. That's Margarita was in the middle. There goes Leach underneath. Leach thought he had him clear. He gets caught by Margarita. Then he gets him. They connect, and then Kabanka is going to get going again, and Kabanka rolls across first to the line. One more time, we'll take a look at it from on board. We're going to go maybe on board. Who are we going to go on with? Quinn or who's the director going to decide to go with here? We're going to go on board with Quinn. Now, this is way far back behind any of the battle that's going on. It's all happening in front, but watch, Quinn will be able to get around and actually get this position. It's all going on in front of him. Now, there comes, this is the battle. That is Brame going by for the pass. Now, Quinn is last to the party. And then they have all this smoke. Where's Quinn going to go? He's going to follow Brame through. You can see all the cars that are slow. They get a couple of them. They get Leach. They get Margarita not fast enough to get the back as Quinn makes a run for that spot. That's some fun racing at the very end. Let's go ahead and do some interviews right now. Ready for interview? We have our race winner. It is Errol Num. Let's bring him down in here. Errol, congratulations on the second win of the season and for getting your pit crew to be relatively fast today.
Yeah, thank you.
You're notorious for stopping early when there's a one-stop race. You like to come in early ahead of a lot of drivers. You didn't do it on the first stop, but you were first to come in for the second stop. We were thinking it was all the battle going on in front of you. Is that why you came in so fast?
Yeah, also like 4 slower cars in front. That's why I came the second time. But the first time I didn't pit early because I saw the gap was under 30 seconds to the 6th, 7th, 8th, and yeah, that wasn't the best.
Yeah, Adam and I were sitting up here. You took the steam out of our broadcast there because we saw you coming up behind these guys. We go, oh, this is going to be interesting. And then you were smarter than both of us. You just came on in. Let's talk about after that second pit stop. You came out. You had a little work to do, though. You had some traffic in front of you.
Yeah, traffic, and I got 2 slowdowns, so I lost 4 or 5 seconds. But I tried to stay calm and just drive and be safe.
Well, a couple good news for you here. Good news is you got the win, and while you never like to benefit by others' misfortune, Tuan Tran had a mistake today. He's not going to score, so we expect you out in front. Now you just got to be careful and then try to avoid any problems these last 3 races.
Yeah, it's on now, so let's see how it goes.
Well, Arrow, congratulations. Looking to pick up your 4th championship. Good luck to you the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you. And I also like to thank to iLab SimRacing. I got my prize from 2 seasons ago. Working very well. So thanks to them.
Good job. That's just what you need is more help. All right, Errol Nunn picking up the win today. Congratulations. Let's go ahead and see if we can talk to our 2nd place driver. We'll bring him in here. Pierce Shortfill Cocky. Pierce, man, we were hoping that you were going to be able to get that short fill on the very end and get out in front of Errol. Didn't quite work out for you.
No, don't be silly. Of course not. I don't think I was threatening Aero at any point during that race at all. So that's just the way it is, unfortunately.
We think that maybe the worst case scenario for you is when you lost your dancing partner when Tran left. You were out there by yourself. He was a half step faster in qualifying. He might have been able to help you around a bit.
Yeah, that was a shame. That I think when Aero saw that, he probably just lifted off the gas a bit and just took it easy because he realised no one was going to come close to him. So, bit of a shame. It was. It would have been a bit of fun, with Tuan still in it, but that's the way it goes, unfortunately.
Yeah, I got the hunch as you were looking at the numbers there. You saw when Num came out, you had 29 seconds on him. Little by little, he was starting to wheel you down. Were you able to see how far back he was?
No, I was trying to work out how much fuel to put in. Which takes a lot of brain power for me.
That's not your forte. How did it come out? How much did you have at the end? Were you pretty?
I had about 2 laps left. I thought I'd just be safe and put a little bit too much in for once, and David was a lot closer to me when I came out. I noticed, but fortunately I managed to stay ahead. And there was that crash at the end, which I don't know if you saw that, but. I was sort of praying Aero was part of that, as sportsmanship as I am, but it was my only chance, I think.
You know, you were one of the last cars to make that first stop. Was there any thought about one stop in this, or all the drivers knew it wasn't in the cards?
No, I don't think it was possible. I mean, you could have possibly really fuel saved or race, possibly, but I don't know. Who knows? I'm not very good at that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm asking the wrong guy, certainly. Hey, congratulations on the 2nd place, and you're having a good season.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I think it was about my first finish of the season almost, so, it's okay.
You're racing up front with the boys. All right, congratulations. We'll see you down the road, man.
Thanks, Sue.
Pierce Cocky, your 2nd place finish here today. Let's go ahead and bring in 3rd Degree Burns. He's notorious for finishing 3rd, and he does it once again. David, I guess it's better than 4th. Whoops, and we don't have David in here. There, we'll bring David in. Here we go. David, congratulations on another. Man, you 3rd places. You really are good on those, but I guess it's like I just said, it's better than 4th.
I got to live up to my name, Soup.
Looked like early on you were running with those guys, and then you lost touch with them. It looks like you just didn't have the pace once they got away from you.
Oh, I don't know what year it was on today, but man, had he found the turbo button. I just, one tiny mistake and that was it. Draft was gone. No chance.
And then that's kind of interesting because then you're kind of on an island. You had Hofflandaisen behind you for most of the race, and he'd close in, and then I guess he'd make a mistake, drop back a little bit farther. You would keep an eye on him?
Yeah, well, he was actually what was pushing me. I was quite surprised at his pace, but I think he really likes this track, so it's one of his favourites. So, yeah, but he was really, really fast today.
All right, let's talk big picture. You're sitting 3rd in the points. You're a ways back, but Tron has trouble now. You're going to score well. I expect you probably to get enough to get around him. I think you could win this chance. I think third place is enough. You're going to need a little help from Numb to have a bad race, but I think third, and a mistake from Numb, you might be able to steal yourself a crown.
Yeah, but Euro make mistakes. Well, it's a horrible thing to think of, but he just doesn't do it. No, I mean I'm doing quite well, but I must admit I did actually want Piers to live up to his name in that last bit there. I was like, come on, run it a fuel. Come on, run it a fuel.
Hey, last question. When you first came into the series, honestly, you were a quality 10th place driver. Is it just me, or are you better now than when you first came on the scene?
I'd like to hope so. I mean, I don't like to judge myself, but I do feel like it's confidence, a lot more confidence, and it's mainly been VR because I feel like I can race closer, and it gives me much more consistency. Overall, it definitely has been that. Which
one are you using?
Oculus.
You like it? Has it been reliable for you?
Well, we could go into bad stories, but their support has been fantastic. I do have to give them that. So anytime I've had to have an issue with it, they've replaced it very, very quickly. So it hasn't been the most reliable, but it is a great bit.
Well, when I was talking reliable, I meant have you had many races where you've gone blind all of a sudden?
The very first one I had issues with it, and it was hardware faults. But no, after that, no, I've not had anything like that.
All right, well, a good testimonial for them, and let's see if you can grab yourself a champion. 3 races to go. Let's run down the Rolling Stone. He doesn't need any more. He's already got 3.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, cheers, guys.
David Burns, your 3rd place finisher today. Real quick, we'll go to one of the more entertaining drivers here. We'll close up shop with this one. We'll bring in Mikael Hofland. And man, you ran 4th the whole time. You just couldn't catch David. I thought you were going to run him down, and every time I looked, then you're another 4 or 5 seconds back. Close in, back. Were you having problems?
Yes, I had a couple of slowdowns and a couple of off tracks which set me back. But David also he had good pace, so I mean it's a little bit of a 50-50 there.
I always like to listen to you. You're one of the more vocal drivers. You don't talk a lot on the track, but you do a lot of air traffic controlling. I like to say, you're helping some of the guys get out of the way this race.
Yeah, well, I was a little bit scared. I saw it was a quite big field. And my teammates had some problems earlier in the race with lap cars, so I thought I would be more cautious.
Yeah, Am Racing finally makes their appearance on the top 5 overlay, and we had big hopes for you today. And Leach was racing up there, but when you watch the replay, you can see your partner had some issues there at the very end.
Yeah, I was actually talking to him this race. And into the last corner, he just screamed, "Oh no!" I was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" He's like, "I've spun."
Yes, it was exciting between him and Margarita and Quebec, and there was going on, and he lost. He came out the worst of all of them, but nevertheless, 9th and 4th, pretty good for Am Racing.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, unfortunately, Andrew had a couple of problems, but I'm very happy. This is actually the best result I've ever had. So. Now it's just top 3 missing and a win.
Yeah, well, you can't complain when you have a personal best in the series. Hey, 3 races to go. We'll be watching the rest of the way.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Mikael Hofland, your 4th place finisher here today. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us here at the Global Sim Racing channel. Hey, pay attention, because these are the people that make it possible for us to do this. We'd like to thank everybody at the Absolute Beginners League for organizing Formula Neagle and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. Thanks to the company's equipment and software that you see on the screen right now that we use on the broadcast. A special thanks to Eric Eckelm and Casey Lalonde for providing the background music used throughout the broadcast. See the screen for how to contact each of them. You want to see more of this? Well, next up for Formula Neagle will be in 2 weeks, July 30th, for round 6 from Sonoma. I believe it's the IRL layout, not quite the full drive into that hairpin. GSRC will be there. We hope that you join us. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, including dates and times for all upcoming broadcasts, your best bet is GlobalSimRacingChannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel. Now, finally, on behalf of my booth mate Adam Young, our director Joe Peak, and our camera artist Dougie Beard, what I'd really like to do is thank all of you for watching. And with that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.